imaginary friends were my twin siblings, Dim and Sim. They were two little babies, so I think they were about 1 when I was in kindergarten. One was a boy and one was a girl, but the girl was better behaved and the boy was just stereotypically bad.
My imaginary friend was Rachel. Rachel was a girl my age. She used to wear a purple shirt and greenish sort of shorts. She'd never changed her outfit.
For me, they were more like a bragging right. So I was an only child, so I wanted to have siblings like everybody else, so they were like my buddies sort of thing.
Whenever I'd want to play with someone, I'd usually play with Rachel. I used to have a really big backyard and we used to have goats and chickens. So Rachel would always play with the goats with me and play with the chickens. That was always pretty fun.
It's most common for kids between about 3 to 5 to actually have an imaginary friend or a childhood companion. And we believe about 20% of all kids will actually have some form of imaginary friend or childhood companion. So it's quite normal.
They lasted through preschool and then a fair way through kindergarten, and then I think people started figuring it out, especially given the name. Like Dim and Sim, that's not normal.
I was really little when Rachel came. I asked my mum about it and she said I was just after I started talking, just a few months after, so I was about 2 years old, I think.
Well, I think since she was about 2.
Yeah, I can remember since she was 2 she had an imaginary friend.
Our daughter is Ruby Tempest and she has an imaginary friend called Lucy.
She's out there near the creek feeding ducks. She especially likes the deer that lives next door to us.
It's a very Anne of Green Gables style of relationship. It's very romantic, and I mean, if she could be in a book, she'd be in a book. She's like that.
She would,
she's
yeah.
Very intense. Things will take 10 million times longer to do. We're walking somewhere and she'll lag behind, and she's talking to this person that's not there, and a lot of babbling, but under her breath, so you can't quite hear what they're talking about, so it's really annoying.
She tells a lot of jokes.
What are some of the jokes she tells?
I can't say them. They're too tricky to say. They're 1, 2, how many are there? And you have to guess how many are there, and there's never as many as you guess. There's always more than those numbers that she said.
If she's naughty and she gets sent to a room, that gives her some company. Lucy does in there. So it's not quite as bad as being just sent to your room and being bored.
She sleeps on all the clothes on the floor in my closet. She doesn't come out of the wardrobe very much.
I don't think Ruby has Lucy when she's out and about so much. I think it's more a personal thing for her. When she's, a bit more introspective, maybe, and that's who she talks to. So I don't think it has a great impact on her socially with other children, having an imaginary friend.
Benefits for having an imaginary friend or a companion is that it allows you to actually develop social skills. So although you're talking to yourself, you're actually interacting and you're trying things and you're experiencing different emotions and you're responding to different kind of things, because the imaginary friend often has a different role and allows you to react to the world in a different way. Interestingly, we know that most kids who have a childhood companion or imaginary friend are actually tend out to be later to be much more creative kids, to be more artistic kids, to have a kind of more greater scope of imagination in their whole life. So they're better later at things like creative problem solving than average kids are.
I didn't have an imaginary friend. One of my friends had an imaginary friend, and I was a bit jealous of that person because, hanging out with me, not your imaginary person who doesn't exist.
I did. Her name was Chocolata.
Chocolata.
And Chocolata was about my size, but as I grew up, she shrunk. But then my mum told me, and I can't remember her, but Mum told me that Chocolata was sitting on the dashboard one day and the window was open and she flew out the window. I think we went around a corner and out she
Did she have wings or anything? Did you think she was going to be okay after she'd gone out the window, or are you just
I was
happy
pretty-
she was gone?
No, I was a bit devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sad. It was a sad day. But I got through it. I'm okay now. Just.
Mostly.
The imaginary friend is usually discarded by the child in two ways. A lot of toddlers between 3 and 5 will have an imaginary friend and they just automatically almost disappear.
I kind of just forgot about them. They kind of just like disappeared. Like people figured it out, so I couldn't use it anymore. And then I just stopped playing with them. It's like a forgotten toy.
The kids where it performs a more significant role in their life often don't discard of the imaginary friend until they're about 7 or 8 years of age. And so they get to the point where they actually decide that, okay, I'm not going to have the imaginary friend, and they discard of it.
I remember when she left, we were playing one day and she told me that she had something serious to tell me. And I was like, what's wrong, Rachel? And she said, my family is coming to get me from Australia and we're going to go to Russia so my dad can leave for his space mission for 10 years. I was a little upset, but like not really. I understood. I knew the day would come one day. Yeah, then she just was gone. Didn't play with her anymore.
I don't remember them leaving, so maybe they haven't, maybe they're still there and I've got like 14-year-old siblings running around that I just don't see anymore. So, I don't know.
I guess a whole bunch of kids have imaginary friends, and if they come out in the playground or at a party, it can be good to have your own, you know? So you don't kind of feel left out. Well, I never had one, so I don't know. But I know I was a bit jealous of someone who did.
I'm happy that I had her. I think she made my childhood a fair bit more fun than it would have been without her. And I like looking back and picturing what she looked like and all that sort of stuff. So it was pretty fun. No regrets.